Hey, so this is for my copywriters out there. I am doing a little audit, just trying to prepare for a little thing I'm doing on how to write copy for blog posts. And I thought I'd find one that I didn't really love, go through it, and pick out some things that we don't want to keep doing. So, so we have here is a local accounting firm, um, and here's an article. The way they set up their blog was hard. It was kind of hard to get to. So I think you go to the top previous newsletters and they have their newsletters linked here. So I click on it and it showed up really fast. And so I'm like, oh, it's all loaded. All right, so let's look at this one loaded. So it just pops right up. Top key performance indicators every business should track. So there are some problems with how this is set up. It's going to be really hard to measure the success of those blog posts if it loads every single time. And they're not really running them like blog posts. This is just a page. It's an archive page um, that loads all. Oh, it looks like an archive.php. So it probably reaches out to a database and grabs all the stuff each time and grabs all the articles, right? So this one showed up too. So there's not going to be a really good way to find out what article performed best, or what people are looking up or anything like that. This looks like an old site and it's probably not very SEO optimized. So let's go through the copy itself. Those are just some notes. Let's go through the copy itself. Top KPIs every business should track. So I picked this one because I'm like, all right, cool. That makes sense as an article. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. So the image itself it looks like it's a stock image. I don't know if most people in Twin Falls look like that. There's probably some people who do, just the way they dress and stuff, but it doesn't feel like local really. It doesn't feel like something they did. So let's read the copy. In today's competitive market, so immediately it's just like, oh man, that sounds like ChatGPT right there. Because it's a very common way for ChatGPT to start an article. Tracking performance is essential. So basically, that doesn't give you any information except for that the writer thinks this is important and essential. But let's see if it tells you why it's essential to ensuring your business achieves its goals. Okay, so it's a bit too obvious, I would say. Looking at this, a serious business person, I'm probably not going to think this is that interesting. I'm probably going to think these are amateurs. Because somebody shows up to a meeting, like let's say it's a Zoom meeting or a whatever, video meeting, and starts out with like something like this, I'm going to think we're starting way back here, right? And I want you to kind of meet me where I'm at. So let's talk about a few things. Let's see if you can gauge where I'm at. And it's probably going to be pretty far along compared to how the level of this is talking to. But one of the challenges is that when you're writing copy, it's very difficult to get copywriters without being risky, without risking them saying something really stupid that makes you look really dumb. It's really hard to get a writer who can understand the details enough to get it right and not make you sound technically incompetent. It's like imagine if someone who's been a football coach for years is playing a game of Madden and says, "Oh, that my opponent ran a mean pick six," right? Like you would think if you understand football at all, you're probably thinking like nobody talks like that, right? It sounds like you don't. It sounds like you don't. I'm surprised you coached football, right? And so there are these things that tell us that the writer either understands or doesn't understand. Right now, I'm getting the impression this person is trying to stay far away from any details that are gonna gonna show their hand and say, I don't really know about accounting. The problem with that is that if you can't be specific, you're not delivering really good information, and it's not going to be something that inspires people or leads thought. And if you're an accounting firm, you want thought leadership, and so you want to be able to you want people to be able to look to you and say these people really understand their stuff. Or you can be a price competitor and just be like, hey, we're the cheapest, deal with it. And you would run an entirely different. I think the voice would be entirely different if that were the case. This is middle ground. Don't love it. So let's look. Key performance indicators are metrics that help you measure progress and make data-driven decisions. Probably anybody who's like KPIs every business should track. They might know that, maybe not. Um, I don't know if I'd say that like that though. I think I'd probably hint at it rather than say it. Like, hey, you're probably using KPIs to measure progress and make data-driven decisions, right? I'm not going to say key performance indicators are, right? Because that just sounds clunky. By focusing on the right KPIs, you can gain valuable insights into your operations, spot areas for improvement, and position your business for long-term success. Okay, that's true. Here are the top KPIs every business should monitor. All right. So let's look real quick. Let's find out how many modifiers are in this because right now we're in modifier hell, I think. So competitive is a modifier. It is this. I bet this is probably one of the most popular leading sentences in an article, and you don't want that. Tracking performance is essential. So that's very passive voice. Is essential. Like anybody can say that without understanding a thing about KPIs. You don't have to know anything about KPIs, and you can write an article that says they're essential, right? Because nobody's going to be like, yeah, okay, well, yeah, I guess they're essential. I don't know. Nobody's going to be able to call you out on it. But copy is falsifiable. It's something you can test, and it should be true. But you need to add more. That's why writing is so challenging. Is because you're trying to push that. You're trying to add value. At the same time, if it's not falsifiable, it's not even helpful. It's not interesting. It's not specific enough. Essential, ensuring your business achieves its goals. Um, the thing is, tracking performance does not ensure you achieve your goals, but it's a part of it. So KPIs are metrics that help you measure progress and make data-driven decisions. It's a modifier, but I mean, it's essential. I think that's good. Data-driven decisions. By focusing on the right KPIs, you can gain valuable insights. I take the word valuable out. Everybody knows they're valuable. We just said they're valuable. Take that word out. Into your operations, spot areas for improvement and position your business for long-term success. I think that's probably good. You might take out long-term, but you might want to stress long-term. You might leave that in there. Here are the top KPIs every business should monitor. Okay, revenue growth. Yeah, kind of a no duh moment at this point. I think if you're not measuring revenue growth, you probably if you're not even at that point, you're probably like you probably don't even know at all what customer acquisition cost is. So there's no way you're going to know that if you haven't been tracking this. So it's kind of a like junk drawer junk drawer of insights. Okay, let's see if this helps us at all. Revenue growth is a cornerstone KPI that reflects the increase or decrease in your company's income over time. I would agree it's a cornerstone it is the cornerstone KPI. There's probably only one cornerstone. How many corners, how many yeah, anyway. Actually a cornerstone, not a chief cornerstone. Okay, chief there would be one chief cornerstone, many cornerstones. It indicates whether your strategies are driving success and highlights trends in your business performance. Good. Now, revenue growth can correspond with strategies. Like, let's say you run a campaign, ad campaign, and then you see revenue growth. That's great. Also, trends in your business performance over time. So if you look at Google Analytics, for instance, a lot of times you're comparing year over year because you want to know, not like if you're in retail and it's December, you don't want to compare December to or November even, because in November probably starts to move your sales up to October because you're going to be like, oh, we're doing really well compared to October. Wow, right? You're going to be surprised by that. But if you're doing well compared to November of last year, then you're feeling good about yourself. If you're doing not as well, you want to know why. Consistent revenue growth shows your business is thriving. Yes. Well, a decline may signal the need for adjustments, pricing, marketing, yeah, and customer. Okay, so I do think this is helpful. I do think this goes into more detail. Profit margin measures the percentage of revenue that remains as profit after accounting for expenses. It is one of the best indicators of a company's efficiency and profitability. There are two main types: gross, net. Okay, yeah, so this does help. Yeah, gross margin, revenue minus COGS, cost of goods sold, providing insight into production efficiency. Yeah, so that actually is helpful, right? Um, so net margin considers all operating costs, not just cost of goods sold. So to determine profit your business retains, good. Yeah. So that's good. Customer acquisition cost. How much does it cost to get a customer? Lifetime acquisition, CLV, customer lifetime value estimates the total. That's better. It's not is. Customer lifetime value is customer lifetime value estimates. That's way better. Let's see. Calculates. That's way better than customer acquisition costs is. So let's go measures. Good. So this is active voice. So this is right. Revenue growth is a cornerstone KPI. What you might say is revenue growth grounds, um, you know, or you just take out is a cornerstone KPI. Revenue growth reflects the increase or decrease in your company's, and then you can say as a cornerstone KPI, it indicates whether your strategies are driving success. So that reads way better if you do that. Good. All right. Customer retention rate. This article isn't as bad as I thought. Well, attracting new customers is essential. Okay, don't say it's essential. Say it drives business. Well, attracting new customers, um, uh, I don't know, grows your business like no other. Great. Is the key to growing is a key to growing your business. You don't want to say is a key. So, well, let's see what it says. Well, attracting new customers um, is essential. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even say that. But it is making a contrast, so I like that. Attracting new customers is essential. Retaining existing ones is often the most cost productive and profitable. So I like that sentence, even though it's passive voice. There's probably a way to fix that. Customer retention rate measures the percentage of customers who continue to do business with you over a given period. Good. Yeah, we already know what a high rate is, retention rate. That means you're treating people well and they like you and they want to stay there. Um, Loyalty, so it tells you gives you some hints of things to explore. So I like that. Inventory turnover. How often your business sells and replaces inventory over a specific period. So let's go to the top here. Every business should track. Well, that's not true, right? Um, Inventory turnover, that's not something every business should track. Some businesses don't have inventory, they have people. And so they would measure employee productivity or revenue per employee, RPE, or something like that. They wouldn't necessarily measure inventory turnover. So, I would say make a qualifier there because it's not every business. Inventory turnover measures how often your business sells and replaces inventory over a specific period. Basically, it's just like, hey, how are we selling stuff? Or is stuff sitting on shelves? Are we storing stuff? Are we selling it? So product-based business KPI is crucial in maintaining a balance between stock availability and operational efficiency. A high inventory turnover rate indicates strong demand and efficient stock management, while a low rate may point to overstocking or slow sales. Yeah, so if you have a low inventory turnover rate, you want a high one. You have a low one, you're probably saying like, well, what's selling a lot? You may be able to parse that out and say, well, we're selling a lot of these. And the inventory turnover rate's high with these. That's good. But then we have a bunch of stuff that's not selling. So, well, let's stop buying that. Let's sell all we have and let's start, selling more of the things that are turning over fast. Employee productivity, let's see, KPI. Let's see, what is it? Your team's ready to play any role in your company's role? Yes, it does. Of course, we already know that. This KPI measures output per employee, or revenue generated per employee, yeah, or revenue per employee over a given time. Monitoring employee productivity helps identify inefficiencies of work. Yes. High productivity indicates that your team is working effectively, while low bottlenecks or lack of. Yeah, bottlenecks like, you know, managers can't make decisions um, to help people get work done. Lack of resources, like um, maybe we don't have the help we need to get work done. So there's not a lot of throughput, you know. So choosing the APIs that align with your goals, well, that's good because these aren't what everybody should track. You should choose the ones that are most important to you. So not all KPIs are relevant for every business. Exactly. The key is to choose indicators that align with your specific goals and industry. Regular reviewing KPIs helps you focus on what matters. Okay, so I'm going to say on this article that this is not a thought leading company. They don't sound like they're thought leaders. They don't sound like they know a ton about stuff. It sounds like they know the basics, and they're not enriching my knowledge. They're not teaching me how to think about anything differently than I was before. Basically, what I see here is best practices. Dear Chat GPT, write me an article on the top key performance indicators every business should track, and then you're publishing it, and it's not going to be the best thought leadership, but at the same time it's not bad, right? It's good entry level kind of stuff. But if I'm a company I'm growing and I'm a serious company and I actually have um I'm a savvy owner, or I have a good staff that knows how to maybe I have a finance guy, chief financial officer, or someone like that. I'm going to look at this and think, okay, this is probably for a smaller kind of company, right? Just a more local company, just like keep things simple, and that's all. I have one more I want to look at, and 5 great strategies for saving money, and this is a different firm locally. And oh shoot, I wasn't even sharing any of that, was I? Let's go back. Let's go here. Okay, that was the article I was looking at before. And I wasn't really sharing that, so you guys probably could only hear what I was saying. But overall, yeah, I thought it was an okay article. They kind of stacked everything. I don't think their website's set up very well. They're not going to get. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't get a lot of organic traffic. I'd love to look at their Google Analytics and see if they're getting a lot of search traffic. I would be really surprised. In fact, let's look them up. So what's the company called? Elite Accounting Inc. Get that logo too. It's a crazy logo for an accounting firm, not very conservative or anything. It just goes back. Okay, let's go to Elite Accounting Inc. Google. Let's go Elite Accounting Inc. Let's just do that and see what pops up. Okay, let's do accountants. Accounting, Twin Falls, Idaho. This is my local area dating company. Elite is okay. So they're number 2 in the maps, right, for businesses. So that's not bad. Let's see if they see Ida Bailey. Oh, and they're in Twin Falls. Great. Twin Falls Chamber of Commerce. Twin Falls CPA. That was actually the other one I was going to review. Elite. There it is. Elite right there. So yeah, there's some other ones in here. Cool. Well, all right. But I'm gonna be surprised. Let's survey enrolled agent. False. Elite Accounting provides the accounting services you're looking for. Contact us today. Exclamation point. Okay. Let's look at this other firm. Moving on. So this Twin Falls CPA. So let us help you decrease your tax liability. So 5 great tax strategies for saving money. I would take out great because you don't need it. A lot of times people think, oh, we're going to be extra friendly and we're going to say all these things. We're going to make it sound like like a blog post supposed to sound. But I would say that it's better to not sound like competition. It's better not to sound like everybody else. It's better to sound fresh. A lot of times it's brevity. So 5 tax strategies for saving money. Saving money. Probably most tax strategies are for saving money. So it's not as interesting. You could write a much better headline, but you also have to have a concept to write. And so if you're not writing from a concept, you're just like, here's what you do to do this, right? And all right, cool. You want to save money? Yeah, everybody wants to save money. It's not that interesting of a claim, but whatever. Every single accountant's probably gonna be saying that, but whatever. Let us help you decrease your tax liability. So already we have a call to action. Let us do it, right? And so I think that's a little unsophisticated. It's not going to come across great to it's going to be, it feels a little needy. And I don't know if it's going to hit with companies that are a little more sophisticated, like who we work with at Resound. So not many people look forward to tax season. Sure, right. Most people don't really want to find out how much money they owe the state and the government. And the state and the government. So that just sounds wrong, right? The state and the should be federal government, right? It shouldn't be the state and the government because the state government is a government as well. So this sounds like someone I'm already getting hints of someone who doesn't speak English as their first language. Okay, it can understandably cause a lot of stress and anxiety. You can take understandably out. But here at Stevens Pearson Associate CPAs, we help both individuals and businesses in Twin Falls, Idaho. What? All right, so this Twin Falls, Idaho. Like, why do you need to put that in there? This is a old school thinking on SEO, I think. Twin Falls, Idaho, right? And surrounding areas. Oh yeah, and surrounding areas. So they're really trying to like. They think that if you do Twin Falls, Idaho, and surrounding areas, that's going to bring you up in Google search for Twin Falls and surrounding areas. So I don't know if that's the case. It's for sure hard to read. Save as much money as possible by decreasing their tax liability. Okay, tax liability is the amount of money you are responsible for paying in taxes. This is a bad sentence. Say say something like, as you know, since since tax liability since reducing your liability reduces what you pay in taxes, you should want to know, or something like that, right? Don't just say it like this because this makes it sound like a dictionary definition, or like Chat GPT wrote it, or someone who's just learning about tax liability. It doesn't sound like someone who talks about this every day, right? So there are lots of strategies for decreasing your tax liability and saving money come tax season. Below are 5 of the most popular strategies, but we work closely with each and every client to come up with a customized plan that meets your needs and saves you as much money as possible. Yeah, I mean, you better, right? I mean, I can tell you, we work with a lot of accounting firms, and literally every single one of them is like, we work closely with you. We want to find out what your needs are, right? Every single last accounting firm, it is not a differentiator, right? I know everybody wants to think that, but every last accounting firm will tell you that. There's probably, I don't know, there's probably like 1% of firms that are just like, yeah, we don't really care about connecting with you, but not many, right? All right, so let's go. Investing in retirement. Investing in a retirement contribution fund will not only help you in the future, but did you know that you can deduct the amount you invested from your annual tax bill? Plus, your contributions aren't taxed until retirement. So, plus your contributions aren't taxed until retirement. Well, you better tell us which one, right? Like all of them aren't taxed until retirement. If you haven't already started a 401k or IRA account, you should definitely do that to help you save. This sounds like a kid wrote it. You should definitely do that to help you save money in the short and long term. It sounds like someone who's trying to find words to say and they don't really know what they're doing. So our accounts can help you weigh out the options. That's good. Not sure how much to invest in or which contribution fund you should. So this is not true, right? I don't think this is true. Somebody who's an accountant tell me your contributions aren't taxed until retirement. Yeah, for some of them they aren't taxed until retirement, but not for all of them, right? All right. Donate to charity. Donating to charity isn't always a selfless act. Stop using the exclamation points. Exclamation points only tell them how excited you are, and an excitable accountant might not be who you want working on your stuff. Someone who is emotional, it shows emotion, it shows excitement, and a lot of times, depending on what the sentence is, it shows, we're a little wacky, right? So it really does um, depend on what you're saying. But it also realize that it doesn't make anybody else excited. It lets them know you're excited. That's all it communicates. It does not An exclamation point does not help people be excited. So not only it's the words you use that are going to help people be excited. And right here, I don't see a whole lot of, there's no point of view. There's no case being made. There's very little case being made. Only just the academic case. Like you look it up in the dictionary and find this stuff. So not only can you help others, but you can actually save money while doing it. That's because you can deduct your charitable contributions from your taxable income, decreasing your tax liability. Whether you're passionate about helping the homeless, the environment, children, or animals, no matter the cause, go ahead and get generous. Be sure to keep track of how much you donate, whether it be money or items. You can deduct them come tax season. So again, it's like go ahead and get generous, right? So this gives the impression that no matter what happens, you're gonna be fine. And you know, as long as you keep track of how much you donate. So I would say that needs to be rewritten. Open up a health savings account. Prepare for any future costly health expenses and reduce your tax liability with health savings account. A health savings account is a fund that you contribute to if you have a high deductible insurance plan to help you cover medical bills until you reach that deductible. You can detract the amount you invest in your HSA from your total taxable income, meaning you spend less on taxes. That's good. I would put HSA in parentheses here, and so you can just say HSA from now on. And then invest in your child's education with Ideal. With Ideal. Is that a name of a plan? Let's see. Yeah, look. Ideal account. Good. If you plan on sending your child or children to college, I don't think you have to say child or children. I would just say child. Or if you have kids you want to send to college, right? Everybody knows it can be a child or children. It doesn't matter. Starting a college saving fund, not savings fund, I guess, is a great way to not only ensure they will have the funds to be able to afford tuition, supplies, and other education costs, but to take a load off your taxable income. So I would shorten that sentence. That's a way too long of a sentence. It needs to be edited down because you're wasting time. A popular option in Idaho is an Ideal account. This won't save you money on your federal tax, but it can give you a deduction for Idaho state tax. That's good to know. That's good information. Want to learn more about how to invest in an Ideal account? Our accountants can help, or I can just look it up there, right? Or find a YouTube video on it. Own a business, work from home. If you have your own business and use part of your income or your home or apartment for your home office, you're in luck. You are able to qualify for certain deductions from your rent, utilities, and more for that office space. Under the simplified method put in place starting in the 2013 tax year, you can deduct $5 for every square foot of your home office up to 300 square feet. However, you have to meet certain qualifications in order to qualify for this deduction. If you're a business owner working from home, our accountants can help you figure out how much you can capitalize on deductions. There's no need to stress come tax season when you have Stevens Pierce and Associates on your side. Take off the exclamation point. It's obnoxious. We're here to help you tax plan in advance so you can save as much money as possible. Whether you decide to put aside those savings or put them toward a vacation to reward yourself for what a great decision you made by choosing us is up to you. Contact us today to schedule an appointment. All right. Yeah, I think this is it just sounds a little unprofessional. So I would rewrite this. I would cut copy and then I would add information. I would add detail to this. I would add, I would go through this right now, I think, and just go through and say, what questions would the average person have? And then the easiest thing to do is show the people who you're talking to that you think like they do, that you care about the things they care about, which means you're asking the questions they ask. So think about the news media you watch. When you're watching the news, are you choosing news sources that never ask the questions that are important to you? I remember when I was in college and Fox News was, and I was in the journalism school, and Fox News started getting big, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, Fox News." They hated Fox News because it wasn't as liberal. It didn't share their values. But there were a lot of people who loved Fox News, and because finally someone was asking the questions I was one of those people. I was like, what? I do not understand. Until Fox News came, I was like, I don't understand why they're not asking to me the most obvious question. Like let's CNN or even MSNBC or CBS or ABC, all those news organizations, they never wanted to talk about the things I was interested in. They would have an environmental topic and everything would be about why their point of view was so important and why we need to take action. When I was like, but in this situation, would this be solved by an environmental thing? Is this something we should do? What's the human trade-off and things like that? So I'd want to know those things. And they didn't want to talk about those things. They didn't want to talk about it. Was almost like when I watched Fox News, they were asking questions. They weren't moving past things. Um, and so they were asking the questions I wanted asked. And so I identified with them. I felt like these people are more, they're a little more on my side of things. They're a little more on, they think the way I think. And so I like them. Right. And for the same reason, what you want to do is you want to have your page be asking questions that your people, you want them asking. It's fine to have some stuff for SEO, but if you really want to be a thought leader, you need to be asking questions that your customer base is likely to ask. And so what I can see here is this is probably for like maybe some high net worth individuals, I don't know, medium net worth individuals, and then small businesses that aren't very sophisticated and aren't probably asking too many questions. Now, so let's go to the homepage and see if there's some copy. I guess I saw that here. So that's some pretty nice. This looks like the Sawtooth Mountains. This looks like the River of No Return. Why am I forgetting the name of it? The Salmon River. Really beautiful part of Idaho. Okay, client resources. We aren't your average Twin Falls accounting firm. So Twin Falls, Idaho accounting firm. So that's obnoxious. I know it's for SEO, right? I know Twin Falls, Idaho accounting firm is, but we aren't your average. That's something every single company, every single accounting firm says. We're the fun accounting firm, or we're human. Yeah. All right, look, if you think accounting is stuffy and boring, you haven't been to Stevens. I'm surprised they didn't use an exclamation point there. Glad they didn't, though. Professional work while still having a good time. To me, I don't even know this. This seems an odd way to talk about accounting. We believe in providing professional work. That's not something I'd write for an accounting firm. It just sounds like you're talking in very generally, like you're not even talking about accounting. Our philosophy is why shouldn't we have fun while we are doing what we love? Okay, so all right, I get it, you guys. How many? It looks like the copyright didn't have anything to say, is what it looks like to me. Located in Twin Falls, Idaho, some more SEO stuff. We provide small business and individuals in the Magic Valley and Wood River Valley with experts. Okay, I hope it's expert. You don't have to say that. And tax filing services from trusted CPAs. Don't have to say trusted. If you have to say trusted, like, give me some evidence or don't say it. As a highly respected yet fun accounting firm, we truly stand apart from the. You have not shown me anything. You're just telling me stuff, right? What does it say here? Individuals, I want to know. Personal services, don't stress, choose the best. Don't stress, choose the best. Stop. If you use some guidance when it comes to look no further. No, don't say things like that. It's massive cliche. Super tired, not doing any work. Makes you sound like a fool. We have years of experience providing financial process fun and exciting. Are you sure you're gonna make it exciting? So I'm not ripping on this firm. I am highly skeptical of the writer who wrote this. I don't think they know what they're doing. I'm well, all right. They're on a journey, right? Everybody's on a journey. I don't want to be harsh. They're on a journey too. All right. So, um, yeah, I don't want to comment on the website layout and design, but good. All right. I think we have let's go. So this is helpful. You know, how long should you keep records? Um, client resources page. I don't know, maybe. Let's go to the home page. So this is a little bit all right, so we do a lot of design too. I love the image here. It's just a little it's a little it's both saturated and I think there's a lot of exposure applied. So it looks like a nice image. Tone it down, make it look more natural. This looks a little crazy. Can I confirm read our blog, share our files? Okay, so this is a block of text that should not look like that. It's tiny and it looks like it should be like featured copy, right? So I would take part of this and I would put it up here just in a little hero area, probably some text there that's just very big subhead and then a little body copy to break it up. And then you're a business owner, you have a lot on your minds, or clients, or your employees. Yeah, everybody, yeah, sure. Um, it's really hard to get to the point when you don't have a lot to say because there really isn't a point. And so I think there needs to be a little more vision with the copy here, a little more vision for the firm, a little more of an understanding of wait, what does it say down here? Bringing more to the table. What does that mean, right? Uh, Accounting firms have trouble talking about that. So I think one of the biggest issues is a strategy issue. With both of these firms, there's a strategy issue. I don't think they know really what they're trying to say. And I think that that's causing problems with their messaging. And then, I also think that the writers are kind of earlier in the journey, hopefully, right? They're earlier in the journey of getting to write stuff that's going to be really good, really engaging, and I hope they. I'd love to talk with whoever wrote these if they're local. I think one of them's probably not English as their first language, but I definitely love to talk with them and because I love copy, I love writing, I love training copywriters, and um, but yeah, I think there's more of a story that needs to happen with these, more of a story that needs to be told. I think part of that's the client, and part of that is the strategy, and actually talking with the client and saying, "Hey, do you want something to say?" And let's figure out what that is, and then we'll make a plan. And now the writers are going to have a lot more accountability because the way I look at it, I'm like, I don't know if it's the writer's fault or there's no strategy. But if there's a strategy, now we can say, okay, now writers, you're accountable to this strategy, and we'll be able to see it in your writing, and it's going to be good or it's going to be bad, and then we're going to coach you from there. And so, these are just some examples. So let me know if you want to see more of these. Pretty much, this is um, content strategist reacts to some things I'm seeing out there. So I hope it's been helpful, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.